Hello and welcome into the 2024 Heart Women's Soccer Media Day. My name is Jillian Carroll Latrinko. I'm the team reporter for the Kansas City Current in the National Women's Soccer League, and today I'm so excited to be hosting Media Day. Right now, we are joined by Culver-Stockton College head coach Tyler Tomlinson. We also have student athlete Mackenzie Frizzell with us. Guys, thanks so much for your time. We are going to just jump right in. And Coach, I'm coming to you. How is preseason camp going so far? I know you're just a couple of days in, but just talk to us about the vibe and how everything is really just kind of starting to kick off here for you guys.
Yeah, I would love to answer that with all the best vibes I can, but we actually check in 2 days from now. So we're not on the same schedule as the rest of conference, and that's okay. But our players will check in on Friday. We have a few here, but they're here for different reasons, like athletic training or RA training, things like that. So not everybody's here quite yet.
Once everybody gets in, maybe some of the things that you're really looking forward to as far as those few days, those first few days.
Yeah, I think that for this particular group, I would describe like our bookends as kind of like, being some of our strengths. I think that the senior class that we have, they're going to be a great group of leaders. They're going to be, a great group of players that the younger players can learn from, and they'll display a lot of things the right way. And then on the other hand, I'm really excited about the freshman class. It's not one of our biggest classes, but talent wise, from top to bottom, it's maybe one of the best classes we've ever had. So we're pretty excited about that, and I do think we have the proper links in place between those two classes to make things work for us.
Awesome. And talk to us a little bit about Mackenzie. Obviously, you have her here with us for a reason. What type of impact does she have on this team?
Wow, I could probably talk for days about the different ways that Mackenzie impacts our team, but it's for her. I think more than just a soccer thing is why she's so important to us. Her ability to connect with just humans in general is at a very high level. So she makes everybody feel welcome. She's a very inclusive person in making sure that the team is functioning as one. But in the same sense or the same breath, like she's really passionate about our team. She's really passionate about our success. She's really passionate about the school. And so, there's a lot of things for us that would make her like our glue. And so I'm really excited, for her to finish out what's been a really great career and really lead us in the right direction coming up this season.
Awesome. And Mackenzie, you hail from British Columbia. Tell us a little bit about how big is soccer back in your hometown?
So soccer is honestly pretty big, especially for women's sports. Like it's slowly gaining a lot more popularity. It's pretty competitive where I am, but I think the main reason why I wanted to come out here it was just more competitive and more options. But it's soccer back home is kind of one of those things that you kind of just get put into. Everyone, like every parent puts their kid into soccer and either you stick with it or you don't. So it kind of stuck with me. But yeah, it's pretty popular back home.
Well, it clearly stuck with you if you've made it, into a collegiate career. So talk to us about specifically how you got into the goalkeeping position. Maybe someone who inspired you, a coach, a player, and just how much you enjoy that specific position. I mean, I feel like you get the best view of the game.
So for me, I've been a goalie since honestly like kindergarten, grade one. Like I've always been a goalie. It was one of those things where everyone had to take their turn being in net. And I got put in one day and I was like, well, I'm kind of good at it. So I kind of just stuck. And then every game we had, I was like always volunteering to go in. So I would say that's kind of where it started my interest of being a goalie. And I think I just liked kind of the intensity and the nerve wrackingness of it. But one person I'd say that inspired me the most was just my first ever club coach. He wasn't like the most amazing coach, like with tons of soccer knowledge, but it was just like super encouraging, especially for a younger age, to get all of us like little girls getting into soccer. And he was one of those people that just like never shut down an idea and like built us all up. So, his name's Daryl Dudley. He's like, he was like, I grew up with him and everything. So he was really inspiring to me.
Ah, very cool. Coach, coming back your direction, for the second straight season, your program was named the Musco Team Sportsmanship Award recipient for women's soccer. How much does that honor mean to you? And being that it's a repeat award, is this something that you value?
I mean, obviously we value how our team acts as citizens, and that's an important aspect of the growth through our program. And so, yeah, I mean, last year, I don't know, we were a little surprised by it and very pleasantly surprised. But then to have it happen again this year, I think probably speaks higher volumes of not necessarily our team, but possibly how other teams in our conference and other members of the conference perceive our team, which I think is really great that we have this outward facing persona of being a good team and good sports, and that we do care. I mean, we weren't bad last year. We were a pretty good team. And so it wasn't like a pity award. I don't feel like so I like the fact that that's the way that other programs are seeing us. I mean, we see ourselves that way, obviously. We strive to be that, but to have it back to back years, I think speaks a lot for like people like Mackenzie and the leadership and the group of kids that we have that care about others on the field.
And Mackenzie, what does that honor mean to you and your teammates, just knowing that your sportsmanship and your character has been recognized?
I think for us, that's something that's always been built in, not just to our program, but within each other. Is like, even if there's, little scraps on the field or whatever, we always kind of know like who we are as a team. So I think that kind of just shows that we held ourselves to a higher standard, and other people saw that too, not just like ourselves and our own coaching staff. So it was kind of just like a little reminder that just like sportsmanship goes a long way. So
Yeah, very cool. Coach, coming back your direction, this is so cool. You're a professor at Culver-Stockton, which I love. You help run the live video streaming staff for the athletic department, which in today's world, everything has to be live streamed, right? So we know how important it is.
Mm-hmm.
Just tell us about that experience and how much you enjoy that element of being a college professor and a college coach.
Yeah, I mean, well, I will say like the classroom itself is quite different than the streaming stuff. The streaming is very hands-on, very technical. And so, honestly, in the streaming aspect, I try not to do anything if I don't have to, right? It's a student-run organization. Our goal is to get kids as much experience as they can technically, production-wise, play-by-play, color commentary, graphics, whatever. I think we do a great job at our school of making sure that it's not like, you know, all the staff here is doing all the work. It's actually the students. And so that's a really big push for us as an institution, as a communication department. So yeah, I enjoy the classroom. It always presents different challenges than you're going to get on the field. And so teaching is still, fun for me, and hopefully, same for my students that have me in class. They don't hate me too much or anything. But yeah, it's still a good experience.
And coach, you now are the winningest coach in Culver-Stockton women's soccer program history. What does that mean to you? That's a distinct stat, and I mean it's a pretty cool achievement. What does that mean to you?
Yeah, I think it means I've been here longer than anybody else. um, no, I mean, I've been lucky enough to have really good teams, and we've had a pretty consistent product the whole time I've been here, and so I'm proud of that. But I'm proud of the kids that have made that happen and have been able to put their all into the program and their trust into me. And hopefully it's not about me. It's more than that. It's about their experience and being able to make their own way with records and statistics and try to do things that other teams haven't done in the past. And that's always a goal of mine, to try to push them to those levels. And so yeah, I'm just a byproduct of all that stuff.
Yeah. Mackenzie, what's your major? What are you studying? And how do you balance being a student athlete? That's double duty.
I'm an education major. So yeah, I'm going into teaching. So I'm really fortunate to have really good professors. They're a big reason why I balance both things really well. I also have like jobs on campus too. So I feel like the main thing is just having supportive professors. They help so much. I've had professors that have changed our whole school schedule around for my season so I don't miss anything. So that's one thing at our school I think is super special, is they're super accommodating. So also like little things, having like team study sessions, we do that a lot. Like we'll just, hey, there's like an hour, 2 hours we have after practice, like let's go to the library and we'll study. So it's kind of just like having other people to motivate you helps a lot and goes a really long way. So I would say, especially going to my senior year, I'll keep utilizing that for sure.
Yeah. Coach, coming back your direction, along with Mackenzie, talk about a couple of their returning players and really just what it's going to take to reach your goals and maybe get to postseason.
Yeah. Well, I think, we return a lot of players that contributed a lot of minutes last year. And so I think we're upwards of 7 or 8 players that started for us last year in return. And, 2 of those being graduate students. And so they're using their extra year, with Ellie Weehart and McKenna Little. And so that, I think, speaks really well of our program, that players are willing to do that and use that year of their life to be with us, which we really respect. But yeah, our senior class is really strong all the way through, and I think for us moving into and we even have some younger players that received all conference honors coming back, and so as I said, I really like our returning group. I think they're experienced. I think they're smart tactically. I think they understand things. They get things culture wise. And so, being able to have them lead us is going to be a really special thing.
Very cool. Mackenzie, playing in the Heart is competitive. It's a grind, and it's, that's just the norm. That's the environment that you get to play in. How much do you love that? And how much do you have to be just so dialed in, and just focused all season because of the high quality competition?
I think for me, that's kind of the main reason why I even came out here and came to this conference, is just knowing how competitive the Heart is. And I mean, 3 teams are ranked that we play against, and that's just, I feel like, unusual. So I love playing in that super competitive environment because it's like you always know that you have to be at a certain standard. And I think that also leads into practices and training sessions throughout the week and off the field too, like what we're eating, like little stuff like that. I think you have to be, like you said, dialed in for all that. And that's what I love. I think that's what most athletes here enjoy so much, because it is kind of like soccer 24/7 on your brain, which I really enjoy. That's why I'm here. So yeah, you definitely have to be dialed in for sure all season.
Yeah. And coach, from your perspective, I mean, Mackenzie just said it herself. Every year, 3 to 4 teams advance from conference to the NAIA national tournament. For your perspective as a coach, how do you plan out your season to peak at the right times and to, battle these teams week in and week out when every single time it's going to be tough?
Yeah, I think that's a big challenge for us. That our conference is so stacked, top to bottom. So there's not a lot of games where you can just kind of sleepwalk through it and get a result. And even for us last year, we had results against teams that went to the national tournament, right? And yet we didn't even make our own conference tournament. And so, I think we had 7 results last year. The top 8 teams make the playoffs, so that would seem like you'd be in, and we weren't even in. And so we know that we have to challenge ourselves and just push it, to another level and do better things. But as far as like peaking at the right time, that to me, that's the first conference game. And so I think for us, what's important is that we really utilize our preseason scrimmages, and we utilize our non-conference opponents to maybe play more free, and maybe make some more mistakes that we can correct and fix and diagnose. And as we move forward into conference, that we've buttoned up as much as we could, and play our best. And sometimes in our conference, even when you play your best, it might not be enough. But I think that's our goal, regardless of who the competition is, and trying to push away the result as the only thing we're focused on, but trying to always play our best, and then hopefully we get the result because of that.
Awesome, guys. Well, best of luck to you in the 2024 season. Thank you both so much for being here for Media Day. And again, just another good luck to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Great job.